How's it going, everyone? It's John here. What do we have today? We've got an investing philosophy video. I'm not going to talk about any specific stock. Maybe I'll talk about a specific stock, but the spirit of this video is not about a specific stock. It's about really an investing philosophy. In case you actually haven't watched my channel or you haven't seen any of my videos, everybody, recently I've actually been building a basket of 50 turbo growth tech stocks. I am very experienced in investing in growth tech. I've been investing since 1989 and certainly been investing in growth technology since literally the early 1990s. But I've been working on since about early June here at the time of this recording. It is August. It is Thursday, August 5th. And I've been working on a kind of a basket. It's about 50 stocks right now of turbo growth tech stocks. And then also from that, I've developed and I've refined a list of 10. It's actually really 11 because I want to have one in there as a bonus. But a list of 10 stocks that I believe can 10x in the next 1 to 10 years. I don't actually have a place to go and buy this list just yet, but I will put some links in this video so you can go check that out when that is available. So everybody, what is this? So this video is how to turn $1,000 into $1 million. And I'm actually going to even show you if you wanted to turn it into $1 billion and maybe possibly even $1 trillion. And this is really not anything. I mean, I talk a lot about investing on this channel. You're also going to see some videos on short and medium term vacation rentals, furnished rentals, whatever you want to call them. I actually have 3 of those here in Southern California. I do that on, and here we are, August. We're pretty much still in the very thick of the busy season. So doing more content on that, also adventure travel and active living. So basically, this is nothing complicated. Like generating income online is great, but it actually is kind of hard and a little bit complicated. This is as simple as, hey, you go get $1,000, you stock the $1,000 away, don't add to it, don't touch it. As the actual assets grow, you can maybe touch it a little bit if you want, but don't add to it, don't touch it, and to see what performance, what high performance really can do. This really all started from, you might be coming from my email list or just other YouTube videos or whatever. But basically, I kind of talk about how you can just, if you're a non-professional investor, you can just go ahead and put your money in an S&P 500 index fund, right? An ETF, and just don't even touch it. Just don't even look at it. Don't even touch it. And for the last 90 plus years, it's returned approximately 10%, maybe a little bit less, between 9 and 10%, but just to keep numbers simple, approximately 10%. And the spirit of that is, hey, you stock away 150,000, and then in 45 years, that'll be worth 10 million. Well, that's really good and interesting, but at the end of the day, 45 years is a long time. And then it got me thinking, well, wait a minute. What if you can do a lot better than 10%? Because in some cases, I actually am a professional investor. Anyway, I've been investing for a long time. I'm not sitting here investing millions and millions of dollars every day, but at the same time, I am a professional investor. I'm very active with it. I'm not a trader. I'm a very good investor. I've got actually 5 10x investments to my track record in terms of liquid right now. That doesn't have to do with anything in private industry or anything like that. It's just publicly traded companies, investments that I've made. So it got me thinking, and I actually started looking at my performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into one of my brokerage accounts, just in the performance section, so I can kind of show you. And I was pretty astonished at really my performance, I guess. But taking a look at going really just back a year, and I understand the stock markets and the stocks have done super well since the beginning of 2020. It's really been, we've been in a very long bull market since really March of 2009. But I took a look at my performance, from January 2019, and I was looking at it, pretty much in the end of July until now, and certainly very, very astonished. I was actually over 390%. From January 1st or January 2019 up until it was last Wednesday in July of here 2021. So, and if you actually start doing the math, I'm like, wait a minute, kind of breaking that down to the amount of months. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's like, 150%, a year. I mean, that's pretty, what can you really do with if you can continue that particular performance. But then obviously that's might not be sustainable, certainly easier said than done. Then you've got half of that, which is 75. Then you got, half of that, which is like 40. The spirit of this really started with, what if you can double the 10% of the S&P 500, index funds? That's 20. What if you can double that? That's 40. What if you can double that? That's 80. What if you can double that? That's 160. So my models were actually done out on 160%, but the reality is I'm really not achieving that 160. It's more like 150% that I'm achieving. But the spirit of it really came from, just doing what Warren Buffett says to do, is just to stick your money in an S&P 500 index fund. But what if you do? What if you do get good? Everybody, again, like I said, I've got this basket of 50 stocks. I'm going to take you and show you a little bit of that, and then also I'm not going to actually show you the actual 10 or talk about it. One of my videos here is a video I did a couple weeks ago about 10 stocks that I believe could 10x in the next 1 to 10 years. But I'm going to update that list on a quarterly basis. But the point is obviously, it's active investing, right? It's nothing crazy, no trading, no options, no crypto, just active investing and focusing on turbo growth tech stocks. I actually have come up with a six-point scoring system in terms of when I actually, take a look at a stock and really assign them a score, right? So we'll go in right now. So let me go ahead and show you. I'll show you the brokerage account and see what I'm talking about, so you can see what I mean, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. So here we go. So here is the chart. As you can see, this is January 2019. And then you go up. It's actually, so it's, the market's come down quite a bit since last, since last Wednesday. This actually was tracking last Wednesday for July is 390 plus. Now it's right there at 370. But if you actually, what we can do is, here, just give me 1 second. Okay, everybody. So I just switched the time frame real quick. Obviously, you could see what I was talking about with the 370%, but I just switched the time frame to January of 2020. And if you actually do that math, 180, and then you divide it by 19, that's still basically 9.5%. Times 12. I mean, that right there, that's basically 115% a year. If you actually just again assign that to the even number of months, it's still 115% a year return, which is obviously it's not 150%, but that's still a pretty solid return, right? So that's really what that is. It's just kind of showing you guys some performance. That's January 2020. That's pretty much here, August 180. And then what we'll do is we'll go into this is the actual pro forma that I put out, right? So I'm going to show you right now really the two scenarios. Well, I'm going to show you three scenarios. The one is the most aggressive at 150, then the 75, which is half of 150, and then the 40, because again, I started with 10, 20, and then 40 is then double of 20. And this is as simple as $1,000, everybody. I think these days, I mean, that's $1,000 is less than the stimulus check, all the stimulus checks combined. I mean, I think it's possible for somebody for really anybody these days, unless you're a super young miner, but even there you can still do that, find a way to save $1,000, right? Take $1,000. So we're going to start with the most aggressive one, right? And we're going to do 150%, because that's kind of that's where I was at when I was looking at my performance, and I'm going to model this out because I was able to achieve that, and I want to model it out, right? So 150%, start with $1,000. You don't add to it, and you don't withdraw. You don't take anything out. Here you are, basically at 150% year in, year out. In year 8, you're looking at 1,525,879. That ain't too shabby, everybody, in 8 years. Obviously, you could change those numbers, if you wanted to change those numbers, for that high percentage performance return to $2,000. You're looking at year 7. You're going to hit your $1 million, right? So we're going to leave it at 1,000 for now, because I think it's super simple and really achievable for anyone, right? Not complicated at all. Save $1,000, get it invested, right? The next one is 75%. return. This is basically half of my crazy performance from January 2019, until the end of July of 2021. So what's going to happen here is, let me move this over a little bit. All right, so it's going to move over. So here we are, and what happens is in year 13, you hit your $1 million, $1,443,759, and that is your consistent 75% return year in, year out. Not too shabby. 13 years. Wow, 13 years ago was what? 2008. Not too long ago, at least for me, right? So let's go a little bit more conservative, everybody. I think 40%. I think, again, for the average person, that might be a hard number to achieve, but I think that's a pretty low benchmark for somebody like me that's more on a professional level, but not even a professional level, but more of a professional level, right? So let's take a look at. So here we are in year 21. At the end of year 21, you have your 1,171,355 to actually to get your $1 million at the end of year 21 at a 40% return. Now, if we do the 40% return, let's say you put a little bit more money in at 2,000, right? So let's see what happens. So you get your million, and this is again at 40%. You hit your million pretty much right here at year 19. Not too shabby, everybody. Certainly not too shabby. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it super simple at the $1,000. So here's where it gets really interesting. So let's say you were really aggressive and you want to be a billionaire, right? So let's see, you stock this $1,000 away. You don't even add to it, and you want to be a billionaire. What are we going to do? So basically, at year 23, that's a trillionaire, right? That's actually a trillionaire. So here we are. No, year 8. I think this is a billion right here. Okay, so here you go. So basically, you actually don't even hit a billion. You go right from 930 million up to 2 billion, right? So here at year 15, and again, $1,000. Don't add to it. Don't touch it. 150% per year return. You're looking at your year 15, your 930 million, and then you jump to your 2.328 billion, 2,328,306 and 437. That's your billion. Then you could keep going if you wanted to keep going. Here you are at year 23. You could become a trillionaire. You're 1.4 trillion at the end of year 23 with your 150%, all starting from just $1,000, everybody. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. Basically, I wanted to do this video because it is realistic, because I've achieved these. I do have a background in investing. My first job out of college was Merrill Edge. I did investment banking after that, and then I actually worked for Sun America here in Los Angeles for 3 years after that. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm certainly not your financial advisor, but I also kind of have a good personal track record as well. I invested in Netflix in 2012. And have an 80x return on that when you look at their 52-week high. I invested in Apple in June of 2007 before the first iPhone came out, have a 33x return on that, and then I have got 3 others, so a total of 5 10x's on my track record. There actually might be some more 10x's in there, and Roku's about to hit 10x for me too, so there might be a little bit more than 5. But in any case, like I said, I've come up with a 6-point scoring system on how to actually analyze turbo growth tech stocks. Yeah, so basically, if you want to take a look at it, here is my tip ranks. So this is just where I have kind of the basket of 50 stocks on here. I'm not going to show you each one of them, and like I said, I'm not going to tell you exactly which of the 10 are. But I do have another video on YouTube here where I talk about 10 stocks that I believe could 10x in the next 1 to 10 years. I am actually developing that list further, and I'm going to be updating it on a quarterly basis. Hopefully you guys like that. Hopefully you could stock away $1,000. Hopefully you can achieve something like 20, 40, 75% return, something like that, and be on your way. As you can see, as the capital builds and then you keep performing, the great thing is that as you start to do better, you start to learn more. I didn't really, I've been developing my system for a while, but I didn't really even come up with it as being a 6-point system until literally this year. So hopefully you guys like that. I'm going to put some links below. I also came out with a blueprint on investing in credit. It's only like $7 if you want to check it out. There's a lot of guides on it and everything like that. So have a great week, and thank you very much.